goal is to make people change the way that they think, feel, and experience senior housing. Real simply, I started this company because my grandmother had a heart attack, and we went out and looked about where she could live, and there wasn't good solutions out there. So we've kind of progressed to here. There's kind of two stories intertwined here. The first story is how I got into this was my grandmother had a heart attack, right? But what I didn't realize is I was actually we all are part of a bigger story that's been going on for a very long time. I grew up in Eastern Oregon, and my grandfather in 1925 bought a small resort, and everybody called it the Springs. It was a hot springs resort where all the ranching families would come since the turn of the century and vacation after harvest. And it was a pretty cool spot. And around it, he built this cool old growth lodge. And then eventually he built a dormitory up here for groups. What I didn't realize is where I grew up and what I've been a part of would really be a metaphor that I believe is the right way to do senior housing as a metaphor for our company. And the metaphor is, what I didn't realize is, the reason why people went to that remote canyon in Eastern Oregon is because of that amazing hot water. Okay. The people, it took away their pain. I mean, I grew up with old people in the pool all the time. I grew up here, right? There was always old people around. What is that? Well, they felt good. It made them feel good. They felt younger, right? They could move. They didn't have the gravity. The warm water made their aches go away. It was a wonderful place. What I realized eventually is that's why we're called the Springs. The difference is, okay, what you guys bring to the residents and the care and the concern and the compassion that you bring to the residents every day is that spring. Around that, we build independent living, we build assisted living, we build memory care, we build the summit. We provide those different services. But the reason why they're here is because of that water, that compassion. That's why we build these big communities. That's why we just don't do Alzheimer's. Okay? We want to be the very best to do that. We need to have resources, and we need to have a community like this. And that's why people come here. I want to give you a little perspective on our company. Okay? We're 5 communities, 3 in Oregon, 2 in Montana. About 500 people work in the company, and about 1,000 residents. So we're not a big company. As far as senior housing companies go, we're pretty small. We've been around since about 15 years. Locally owned and operated. Okay. I own the company. We're in Inville, Oregon. We need a decision, let's make it. So then what makes us different? It's you guys, your attitude about the residents, your sense of purpose, okay, your sense of mission and commitment to the residents and care about making a difference in their lives. We have to have the very best staff. To have the very best staff, you got to have some scale. You got to be able to pay, okay? Because good people should get paid well, okay? And there needs to be opportunities for people that are entry level, starting out, basic wages, getting going. We want people that want to be here and be in this company to see that there's opportunity to do well. Once upon a time, there was a wise man who used to go to the ocean to do his writing. He had the habit of walking along the beach before he began his work. One day, he was walking down the shore. As he looked down the beach, he saw a human figure moving like a dancer. He smiled to himself to think of someone who would dance to the day. He began to walk faster to catch up. As he got closer, he saw that it was a young man, and he wasn't dancing. Instead, he was reaching to the shore, picking something up, and very gently throwing it into the ocean. As he got closer, he called out, "Good morning, what are you doing?" The young man paused, looked up, and replied, "Throwing starfish in the ocean." "I guess I should have asked, why are you throwing starfish in the ocean?" "The sun's up and the tide's going out, and if I don't throw them in, they'll die." "But young man, don't you realize there are miles and miles of beach with starfish all along it? You can't possibly make a difference. The young man listened politely. Then he bent down, picked up another starfish and threw it into the sea, past the breaking waves, and said, "It made a difference for that one." We don't want to be the biggest, we want to be the best. We can't take care of every senior. We can't take care of every person. Okay? But we can make a difference for the residents that are living with us today. And some of the residents that you're caring for today may not be with us tomorrow. And the time you have with them, like my grandmother, Stubblefield, the caregivers there were the last people she was with. And it's important. It makes a difference. Little things that seem insignificant make a difference in their lives. And it's not just to make a difference in their life. It'll make a difference in your life.